There's a series of mysterious deaths. Americans with plans to visit the Dominican Republic are now reconsidering their vacations because at least 6 U.S. tourists have died there in the last 12 months. That includes a California man whose family is now sharing his story for the first time. Mola Langhi's in the Dominican Republic with more on this. So, Mola, what do we know about this newly reported death? It's all so scary.
Well, yeah, Gail, Robert Wallace's family tells Fox News that he became critically ill during a resort stay here in the Dominican Republic. The Prosecutor General's office here in Santo Domingo is investigating, but the family says they decided to come forward after learning about others who recently died under similar circumstances while vacationing here on the island.
Robert Wallace's family says he was in the Dominican Republic for his stepson's wedding when he quickly became sick and died shortly after drinking a scotch from the minibar at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Nearly 2 months later, his family still has no answers. We now know of at least 5 other Americans who have died in the Dominican Republic in the last year. Most recently, Miranda Shop Warner and a couple from Maryland, Edward Holmes and Cynthia Day. All 3 died at Bahia Principe hotels. Preliminary autopsies released by Dominican authorities say they all had fluid in their lungs and respiratory failure. Toxicology reports have not yet been released.
There is something dirty at the bottom of all this.
Felicia Nieves' sister, Yvette Monique Sport, also died at a Bahia Principe resort. She says last year, Monique had a drink at the minibar inside her hotel room, went to bed, and never woke up.
She was 51 years of age, relatively healthy. No reason for her to go on vacation and just die so suddenly.
Don't worry about the fear factor, worry about the common sense factor.
CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg says people should always ask several questions of a resort before traveling to the DR, including what kind of chemicals are used to clean rooms, how often are the mini bars inspected and restocked, and how can staff ensure the drink labels at the mini bar match what's inside.
When you look at the sheer number of people who are vacationing there, and then you look at the number of incidents, the numbers are overwhelmingly in your favor, but that does not prevent you, or shouldn't prevent you, from asking some basic common sense questions.
The Dominican Republic is among the most popular travel destinations for U.S. tourists. Dominican officials estimate around 2 million Americans visit the island each year, and they insist it's safe.
It was pretty much like a no-brainer.
Marcy Hudson told us she and her boyfriend recently canceled a trip to Punta Cana.
They don't really have a clear explanation as to what's happening. We're not even going to risk it. We don't want to be next.
Well, we found several other people on social media who claim to have canceled their vacations here on the island. Bahia Principe says none of the deaths at their resorts are connected and that one of the victims, who we mentioned, Miranda Shop Warner, died of a heart attack. Meanwhile, the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino insists that all of its protocols, all the appropriate protocols, were followed. Anthony?
Sure would like to see the toxicology reports, Mola. After these deaths and the shooting of David Ortiz, what are officials saying about the safety there in the DR?
Well, Anthony, the Prosecutor General here in Santo Domingo said after David Ortiz's shooting that the country is secure, but he admitted that it definitely has its challenges. The tourism minister insists that the deaths are isolated incidents. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department, as we know, they issue travel advisories and warnings for each country. They rate the DR a level 2 out of 4 on their scale, encouraging all potential tourists to practice extra caution.
All right. Mola Lenghi in the Dominican Republic. Thanks, Mola.